Hello and welcome to Project Overland special. I'm at the Adventure Overland show and I'm going to show you some trucks. I'm going to see lots and lots of trucks, not a lot of me. So let's get on with it. Here's what's coming up.
Destruction, and I'm back to a place that I left a long time ago. Just give me a sec while I smoke this cigarette. My aching body feels better still. What do you do when you just pick up my guitar?
Okay, so right in the front, these are the new light guards developed, which I quite like, which I'm waiting for. Then for Rosie, they're going to come. These are the prototypes. Dave's got some LT blah 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 Scrabble board, little mini light bars on the front there, and then going up to the top, more light bar. Mini light bars a go-go, and then aluminium storage boxes at the top. Similar refract. Here we go, and then to the back, you've got the changes. So obviously, Dave's box has got this lovely alcove over the front, along with this storage box here, where the spare wheel carrier is, and as you just saw, both spares carried on the rear. So nice.
destruction. And I'm back to a place that I left a long time ago. Just give me a sec while I smoke this cigarette. My aching body feels better still. What do you do when you just pick up my guitar and when I need to escape? Everything will be better when I find a way.
Hello, and welcome to Dave and Jess and Global Traces, because we're sat in your truck. Welcome to the channel, Project Overland. Thank you for inviting me in to Rosie's sister truck.
Indeed.
I think so. We've seen some shots of the outside, so we're really keen to see. But yours, we're going to talk us through your thought process on how you came about on this truck. To start with,
Okay.
Is that a good place to start?
Yep.
Start at the beginning type thing.
Absolutely. Why not?
So you came out of a Mercedes Sprinter
We did. Mercedes Sprinter called Brenda.
called Brenda.
Brenda.
I didn't realise Mercedes Sprinters were all with Brendas.
So,
There you go.
yeah, Brenda. The name Brenda came from. Well, have you ever met a small Brenda?
No. There you go. I've never really met a Brenda, I don't think.
Oh, there you go.
There we are.
So,
There you go.
Brenda she was a big girl, so she
Okay.
was called Brenda.
But then you said, but so what's the HX called? Because that's bigger again.
It is. So the the HX is actually called BeBe.
What, Big Brenda?
Well, it's like Brenda squared, because Brenda was always known as B.
Right.
So BeBe is like B squared.
B squared.
Or
Oh, clever.
because she's blue.
Very deep. Blue Brenda.
Big blue.
Big Blue.
Big blue.
That makes sense.
B squared. BeBe.
Okay. BB it is.
It's short and sweet and easy.
So why? So you went from the Sprinter. Was the Sprinter 4 before or not? Okay. So the Sprinter's good for tarmac roads, and had you considered taking it further afield?
I put some winter tyres on it that made it a little bit more capable, but still,
Right.
it wasn't necessarily the four-wheel drive-ness or lack thereof. It was more that when I'd had it converted, I was single.
Right.
And so it was set up very much for me or a me plus one. And obviously with Isla coming along,
Who was your plus one?
little Mrs. Deer, I was hopeful.
I didn't introduce either. I did say Dave and Jess, and I completely forgot.
That's all right.
That's what you get for not being a father. You see, you missed out.
Do you want
There's a
more?
little
You've
one.
got your bottle. You do.
Right.
So obviously with Isla coming along, we only had 2 seats. We needed a bit
Yeah.
more space.
Right.
And we didn't know whether we were going to buy a yacht and sail around the world or whether we were going to buy a truck. and
I'll just
drive
get that for you, shall I? Just pick that up. It's just, I didn't know whether I was going to buy a yacht.
We were sailing, we talked a lot about it. We were just like, oh, this is amazing, yada, yada, yada. Maybe we should get a yacht. We didn't really know. We looked at lots of sailing magazines and we came to the conclusion that if you sail across the world, you meet yachties in marinas.
Who are great.
Yeah, they're great,
yeah.
but you're basically meeting other people that are travelling
Yeah.
by yacht. And you're seeing a marina and the surrounding couple of miles.
Right.
Whereas if you drive across the world, you get to meet the real local people, real
Yeah.
cultures, real countries.
Yeah.
You see the inside of the country.
And a
Yeah.
lot more different situations. You know,
Yes.
you're not hugging the coastline. Ooh,
No,
Oh.
Mind you.
you're not just hugging the coastline, you know. And we will sail and we will get a boat, but we wanted to do
we
this.
decided truck.
Okay.
We decided truck first, and it was more attainable as well.
Yeah, that's true. And why this particular truck, or not this brand of truck or this model of truck? What led you to that?
We weren't going to do this first. We saw what are they called?
Volvo. We were looking at the
Volvo.
Volvo N10 originally.
Yeah.
Oh right,
Like,
yeah.
There's actually
rare.
one
like
here.
Jackies, yeah.
Bit of a rare thing.
Yes, and we were looking at that, and it was just proving really hard to get any traction. Which, sorry,
Right.
no pun intended, for a 6x4. We
Intention, yeah, pun taken. Yeah, well
there
done.
you go. We were really struggling for like getting hold of one, getting any information.
COVID as
Yada
well.
yada
It
yada.
was in another country and stuff as well.
Yep.
Like,
and then we kind of stumbled across the HX, and thanks to the HX group, obviously that you're admin of, we got lots of information. Okay. So from a platform perspective, obviously there are many trucks out there, and the more time you spend looking at trucks, the more you come to the realization that there is no perfect solution.
No.
Everything is a series of compromises.
Yep.
And you try and come up with what you hope is the best compromise. From our perspective, the HX is an awful lot of truck for not very much money in the grand scheme of things. It's comfortable driving. You've got air conditioning, cruise control. It's automatic, air suspension seats. The cab's a pretty quiet place to be. Good payload, ability to take a decent sized box, pretty good off-road capability.
Lots of them.
Yeah, lots of them, and prices that were keen compared to probably
sensible
half the price of anything else that's vaguely comparable.
Yeah.
And okay, you probably can't have a crawl through on it. Fair enough. That's a compromise that we made. We'd have liked to crawl through. We couldn't have one. We could have done, but we'd have spent 20 grand more on a truck. So we made those. We made that compromise.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about the box, because as we know, we've got a sister truck to Rosie.
Trucks, yeah.
So, but yours is slightly bigger and a slightly different configuration. So
it is. So box was built by Motorcraft. We'd met them a couple of years ago at the Overland show. Thought they did some really good stuff. Then when we bought the truck, we kind of had another little look around just to make sure. Decided that Motorcraft's the place to go. Ian and Gary and the guys up there are just awesome. And the solutions they come up with are fantastic. But so the box itself is 5.6 metres,
right?
Which the consensus seems to be that's about as big as you want to go.
Yeah. So Rosie's 5.3, so somewhere between 5.3 and 5.6.
Exactly.
Is your ideal
5.6
point.
is on the top end. Beyond that, it's just going to start looking a little bit tail heavy. What ties this one together though and stops it looking too tail heavy is the fact that we've got this alcove, which was unique. It was an idea we came up with. We spoke to Ian and he was like, yeah, we could probably do that.
Yeah, I have to say I am jealous. I wish I had that idea.
It pulls it forwards a little bit.
And the extra space it gives
Interior volume is huge. So the alcove,
light as well.
Light.
Yeah. The alcove's about a metre internally.
So I'll see if we can see if we're going to pan this, and I'm bound to go the wrong way. There we go. There's the alcove up there, and you can see the windows. So that's an extra piece. So I've got those two twin windows, which I will go on camera now and say was your idea and your suggestion. So I'm grateful for that, because it makes a big difference. Although I wish you told me about the bloody alcove before you actually.
Sorry, your box was already half built by then.
I know. Yeah. Okay.
So it's 5.6 plus the alcove. So overall, it's actually more like a 6 and a bit.
Yeah.
And then, in terms of the interior design, so we're sitting in our U-shaped seating area at the moment, but above us is our bed.
And as if by magic,
look at that.
There it is. Go up. There it is.
Look at that.
How does the bed come down? Is it electric?
It's electric. It basically raises and lowers on seatbelts.
Seatbelts. Cool.
That's really simple term. It is actually seatbelt. And then there is effectively a winch motor. I think it's a garage door motor.
Right.
And there's a couple of stop switches from like an electric window. I guess is like in the really simple terms. If you were to build something like that, that's what it's made of. Yeah. You can buy it as a kit.
Oh right. Okay. And so you can buy it as a kit. So if anyone's thinking of doing it, they can build it themselves.
Exactly. It's Project 2000, made by Lippert Industries.
Oh, awesome.
It's about 1,200 quid.
Right. Jess, if I can, I know we've got attention, Emma. So, talk to me about the layout.
Yeah.
So we're in a U-shaped sofa, which is lovely. It's got loads of space.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the key things that we wanted was just to make sure that we had space, that nothing felt enclosed. There weren't any kind of dark corners and bits that you didn't kind of feel that we thought about. So we wanted to have U-shaped sofa underneath the raising and lowering bed. We chose not to make this into another bed because we've got adequate beds and spaces, and we just thought, how many people are we trying to sleep, and we can only carry 4, and people in the cab. So lovely. Lovely seating area. We've got loads of storage in the backs of here. We've got batteries, water tanks. We've got a little bit of storage under this as well. So really, really lovely space. We've got these things that come up, really important USB points.
You got your USB points.
Rise out of the seats.
I have got one. I think in one of my previous videos I showed you the lovely soft damp spring action. So
really
don't leave anything breakable on top because it'll fling it up.
So fortunately that's just a pull. There's no spring in that.
Right. Okay.
It's just a straight
You just pull out.
Yeah. So that was really key. And then we've got the alcove space as well, which just makes it.
And you've got the Motorcraft safari hatch behind you there, the same as Rosie has.
You just kind of throw that open, and you can sit here and look out, and then you can kind of look out back that way, look out through the kitchen. Yeah, you've got double windows, haven't you? This is a lovely window. This big window here behind us is huge. Really nice. We got that bit made bigger.
We did. So originally it was a slightly smaller one. It was the same size as the one in the kitchen. But after the interior was done,
it just
and it went back to Motorcraft. It was like, that should be bigger.
That should be bigger.
It just floods in a load more light.
Yeah.
And obviously where the bed's down, we can lie in bed and look out whichever end we are. We've got a big window to look out of.
Nice.
Or the safari hatch.
Yeah.
And I'm loving that brush panel there with that LED. Yeah, because it reflects the LED. It's a really nice finish.
We wanted to go because we
change this for you. Go on, keep going.
No, because we had we agonised over the interior, like what colour, what do we do?
Yep.
So a lot of it is obviously reclaimed wood as we wanted it. So all of the stuff is done at off-grid campers, who are amazing. But we wanted to have a little bit of a kind of modern feel to it, so not all rustic, but also quite durable. You can wash it down.
Yep.
You can throw baby
good
food
idea. Good idea.
Dog hair, dog slog, or whatever. So we wanted to kind of have that feeling, and it goes really well with the colour, the wood, the lights.
Dave's playing with his lighting.
Absolutely.
So we wanted to kind of have a rustic feel, but also modern, and kind of break up the wood a bit, not have too many grains. So the flooring was just made to go with the really durable, obviously.
It's very, very similar flooring to the one I've picked, so I haven't actually got it yet. So
I'm really. I was a bit worried about the floor when you put it down. We put it down and you showed me it on FaceTime. I was like, I don't know. But
I thought it was going to be a little bit dark, but actually it's come up.
No, it's nice.
Yeah. And then going into the kitchen, little piglet here. Going into the kitchen, one of the first things that people say is like, "Oh, your countertop's quite high." It is if you're not 6'4" and 5'.
Yeah.
So we made the decision after living in my flat in London, we were just, Dave was forever like, oh my god, these countertops are too small. They're too small, they're too low, it's killing my back. And then, so we thought, right, well, let's make them how we want them and the height that we want them. So those are a little bit taller than normal. We've got a...
I did notice that, and I didn't... You know what?
It's 1100.
It was... that's a top tip.
And it's really nice.
Because
I might go with that.
I've had a dodgy back. Why... Every house is built around a standard sized person. If you're not a standard sized person and you've got the chance to bespoke build, why would you go with a standard sized size?
That I'm taking away with me.
The downside is you won't find cabinets. You're going to have to bespoke your cabinets to fit that height.
Which is what we would do.
You've just ruined it.
That's the problem.
Because I did say that I'm going straight out of a basically just
off the Wicks or
well, not Wicks, but
or
Howdens or something.
If you're buying standard cabinets, then you can't change your cabinet height without having a whole load of wasted space.
Okay.
But because we were having an entirely bespoke interior, we had the ability to take that countertop up, and then they make the cupboards to fit the space.
Really good point. Really good point.
So our worktop is nice and high. It saves my back. It's a really nice working height. And it's just one of those little things that, from a long-term living perspective, makes everything a bit more comfortable.
What's the countertop composite?
It's a solid composite.
Yeah, solid composite countertop. Would we have done it in white with retrospect?
Sounds like someone's going.
we've been in here 6 days, and we're already thinking white was not the best choice for a countertop because it's going to show up every single little mark. But at the same time. It's nice.
I love it. It pulls the whole thing together with the same, like the brushed steel. We've got brushed steel tap, brushed steel inside sink bit, the handles on brushed steel, the front of the oven, the fridge. agonised over this, like, you know, because it's our home. You know, we spend
Okay.
money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you prepared to tell us?
Yeah, we've said it on TV.
Go on then.
So we don't actually, in all honesty, don't have a final figure because it depends what do you call the build and conversion versus all the other ancillary bits that you will buy. Like, is a stereo in the cab included in the build? Is a CB included in the build?
Okay.
There are things that are essentials and things that are nice to have, and if you wrap it all in, your figure goes up. But we think we're probably about 130-ish.
Wow. Okay.
Which isn't
130.
that much over budget, is it?
No, not particularly. We thought we'd get away at about 110.
Right.
But there's always
something.
I mean, you show me a build that's ever worked to its budget. The reality is, there's always little things
I
where you
completely
go,
agree.
oh,
but that'd
we
be
budgeted
so
this,
nice.
but if we spent that, we could have this in, which
Yeah.
would be really nice. And you might as well
Well,
just do it.
So there's a case in point here. There's one we know about, which was kind of an interest, which is the generator. So we both were going for that same sort of like second-hand generator that there were two of, and we both had. Well, I had a problem that it wouldn't fit at all because your winch version HX was slightly taller, and they measured it off that, and it wouldn't fit on mine. But then you had an issue with it wouldn't go in because
So just from a mounting perspective, it was a Honda EX 5500. It's a 10, 12-year-old, 5.5 kilowatt.
yeah, but it was about $1,000, wasn't it?
About $1,000. So
Yeah,
it's a really
so
good deal
it's
for
a really good
what
deal.
would be
Yeah.
a very quiet and very powerful generator.
Yeah.
Petrol. And in terms of mounting, we were wanting it to go onto like a slide out.
Yeah.
But that raised the height, which made a problem. On the slides would have had to have been so big they'd have had to stuck in the way, and the prop shaft gets in the way. So whichever way you tried to do it, it wasn't going to slide out.
It wasn't going to fit.
The filling point is on top.
Right.
Now, that means filling it's a bit hard. Yeah, you can get a manual pump and pop it through, or you can get a funnel and pour it through. But now you're trying to pour fuel out of a jerry can that weighs 25 kilos down a funnel that you're holding awkwardly under the edge of a body.
Get that.
Not throwing petrol.
So the generator does the generator. The Honda generator went out the window, and then you found another. You had to go off and find another one.
Yeah.
So I'm in this predicament at the moment because the one I'm looking at is like much more than the one you managed to get hold of. But you managed to pick one up, didn't you? So
I did on eBay of all places. Found a Dometic Tech 30,
right,
which is a diesel generator.
So you got diesel still, so no need for petrol.
No need for petrol, so we're back to being a single fuel source.
Yeah. How loud is it?
It's not the quietest thing in the world. It could probably do with the silencer on the exhaust.
Yeah.
So we've got an exhaust.
I saw that under
with
that.
a muffler. It could probably do with the silencer as well, but it's not desperate.
Okay. Cool.
And the reality is,
It's actually, you know, how many times have we used it?
yeah, not many so far. Obviously, we've only been in here a few days.
Well,
but actually,
and you checked the batteries before, and they were at 100% because it's been quite sunny today, hasn't it?
It's been reasonably sunny. We've got a fairly significant amount of battery. We've got 10 kilowatts of lithium ion.
Yeah.
And we've got 2.5 kilowatts of solar.
Right. Okay.
So even
how many
today,
panels is that?
5.
Okay. And what size are those panels?
They're 495s, 495 watts, so we're just marginally under 2.5 kilowatts.
Right. Sorry. What length of the panels?
Physical size, I think they're 2. I'm going to say they're 2.1 by 1 point
massive.
something. They're big domestic.
So your whole roof is panelled.
The entire roof, with the exception of the 600
skylight.
by 600 skylight, is panels.
That's something we also discussed at length, which was, you know, solar panels versus do we want to have like a roof terrace, like a kind of space to get up on the roof. And as lovely as it would have been to have that, we just thought, how many times are we actually going to be getting up there with a baby, with a dog? Maybe later when she's a bit
not
bigger,
with the dog.
you know, exactly. We'll kind of take away one
a little
panel
cradle in what winching what.
we've got a winch. And we kind of just thought power for, because we're having to like sterilise bottles, we're having to cook, we're having to have, always have to have heating, always have to have light, you know, for her. We just didn't want to, you know, risk it. And we thought, let's just go for the solar.
And we didn't want gas either.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah,
like from a gas cooker, that's open flames that little fingers get burnt on.
Yeah, so
we've gone from an induction hob instead.
I don't know, you know about little fingers, big old fat fingers.
Yeah, all fingers.
My fat fingers, put them into.
Through the kitchen, we've got a washing machine dryer, and we've got a domestic fridge, so fridge freezer full size. We did loads and loads of research on all of the kind of energy values of them, and marine, not marine, camper, motorhome style ones, everything, and we just came to the conclusion that these are equally, if better, than those, and a fraction of the price as well. And if something breaks in the middle of nowhere, or somewhere where you're not going to be able to get someone to come and fix your marine fridge or replace it, you can just buy a bog standard domestic fridge for 200 quid, and you're done. So yeah, it works for us. And then we've got, I'm just reminding myself by looking down, we've got at the back section 2 bunks. So one bunk is for Isla, and then the bunk underneath is for the dog, Otis, which works really well because we've got baby gates, and kind of we can section off that area with a blackout blind, and it's just kind of gives a bit of separation for us as well.
Yep.
And then moving around, we have a full-size bathroom, so we've got a rain shower in there. We've got a composting toilet and recirculating shower and heated towel rail.
Nice, recirculating shower. Tell me about the recirculating shower.
So the recirculating shower.
Well, Dave tries to kick the light ball around.
Yeah.
Recirculating shower was a kind of brainchild of Gary from Motorcraft and Dave. So we kind of sat down and brainstormed.
I'd seen a few of them and thought they seemed like a really good idea, because
how could we do it? Yeah.
so we carry 510 litres of water thereabouts. Your biggest water loss is showering. An average shower is probably between 8 and 10 litres a minute, so if you have a 10-minute shower, there goes the best part of 80 to 100 litres.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
that brings us almost back. You've
Almost
got your
back.
control panel.
Control panel, storage,
Yeah.
wardrobe.
Quite a big wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turned out bigger than we expected it to be. I'd measured the hanging space and sort of gone, it's this big, but I hadn't realised actually that cabinet is huge. So in our wardrobe, we've got it's about 1.2 metres of hanging rail. I'm going to say 40 litre Euro boxes. So quite a significant clothes storage space, which still needs a lot of organising, which is why So just after the storage area, wardrobe, and then butting up to U-shaped sitting area, so literally just here, is my tech wall. And the other day, Jess said, "Why have you got 3 drawers and a monitor, and I've got no drawers?" And yeah, my response was because I drew the layout. So I'm probably going to have to give up.
Next one, Jess.
Yeah.
You draw the layout.
Now I'm going to commandeer it.
Yeah, I feel I'm not going to get to keep all of these.
Well, thank you very much for allowing me into your home.
Pleasure.
And all the best to all 3 of you. Sorry, 4 of you, Otis. And I hope you have a fantastic journey.
Thank you.
Where are the plans? First off?
Everywhere's on our list.
Scotland,
I think, shakedown.
Yeah.
And then somewhere warm for winter?
Maybe. We might do a bit of family time, obviously, because we've got Isla. We might need to spend time with.
Show them the truck.
Yeah, grandparents.
Yeah.
And the like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's giving you some inspiration for Rosie as well,
no,
since
absolutely.
you're just about to start your interior.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They've got loads of it.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, do you know what? I definitely see us convoying down the road.
Oh, totally.
And
Iceland.
Iceland. And I do know, and I know why, because you want Uncle Dave to babysit. So
Absolutely, yeah, we've seen it as well.
Yeah. I'm only good because I can do it in 10-minute slots and give them back. Anyway, thanks a lot.
Pleasure.
All the best.
Welcome.
See you.
Thank you.
Thanks.